Morning, guys. About 5:30 here. We got some coffee and taters over there. Some bacon over there. Rush has been pestering camp since 1:30. He was trying to eat out of Pat's hat and then decided to start walking around. He's out there. I don't know if you can see him. Walking around camp and whinnying about 4 o'clock. So he wanted to make sure we got an early start on the day.
Alright, let's turn the taters. Whoa.
You're good. Alrighty, Will. We got the cabbie turned out. Got the couple horses we're taking home today kept back. Everybody's saddled and we're getting ready to head out. I think the plan is that Blake's gonna head up the canyon and look around on this ridge, and Pat and I's gonna go that way and look around the reservoir and see how the day unfolds. So come on, Ollie! So, I don't know if the camera sees it right. There is just a touch of ice on that little spring there. So it tells you last night. In honor of Leonard Hornbarger. A fond memory of. Pretty cool tribute there. Looks over this, a little fish boiling right there. This, years ago, this reservoir was a trophy trout fishery. I remember as a kid, I pulled some big ones out of here myself for sure. Been a long time. I see them boiling here. Man, if a guy had a fly rod right now with a little mayfly nymph on it, you'd probably do pretty well.
This dam was built, I don't know how long ago, but it's been built in about 3 phases to get it to where it is now. And it's been rebuilt. We spent $100,000 on it, or the people I work for did, when they bought this ranch because it was leaking real bad. And it's been built by the private landowners that own the ranch there, and the water's owned. All of the water was owned by the landowner, and it was built just for irrigation purposes. Since then, the previous landowner sold a portion of the water to the Fish and Game, which is a pretty gray area, legally speaking, because the government's not supposed to be able to own that stuff. And then he sold, this was all private land around, he sold a lot of the land off or traded it to the BLM or whatever to build out the farm down there. And so it's all the maintenance and everything now still, even though we don't own all the water, 100% of all the maintenance that's done on this is done by us for the benefit of our cattle and our farm ground. But the Fish and Game stocks it with some trophy fish, and they try to manage it as a trophy fishery. But when they start to get on us about the cattle being around it, that kind of gets under my skin, because it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for these cattle. And the Fish and Game, you know, they're government employees or whatever, but like the general public that like to come up here and fish, we're glad to have them here. We're glad to have the fish. We're glad to have the, you know, the just natural environment. Glad to have people that come up and enjoy it. But they need to understand that if it wasn't for the cattle and the cattlemen, there'd just be a little bitty narrow creek running through here. It would run all the way down to the flat, and it would disappear into an ancient dry lake bed. That would be all there is to it.
A little bit of perspective there of how the cattlemen do a lot more for the public than just put beef on their plate. You know, this recreation, it wouldn't exist at all. So
well, the country's steep enough, there may be some fish in the creek. There probably was some fish. I'm sure there was some fish before the cattle showed up, and some of what we do or have done has not helped the fish. But this country is so steep, there wouldn't be much fish, because that water runs off of here so fast, and it don't stay cold enough.
Yep.
And that's the issue with the cattle. They affect that by, you know, keeping some of the underbrush stand out and stuff along the creek, and you know, they cause some erosion through their trails and all that. It doesn't really help. Some of that doesn't really help the fish.
Sure.
But then we do a lot. You know, we try to manage the grazing in a way that's you know, less destructive and more beneficial for everything. But because of how rough it is, and we, you know, a lot of the land in the actual watershed we don't own. It is government land, and we have to manage it according to their dictates. We can't go build a bunch of fence and stuff, and if we did, then they'd give us more dictates. So we're kind of, our hands are tied on some things. But we are doing what we can. And then the other stuff that we're doing, like this reservoir, we didn't build that for fish or whatever, you know, but it's made a trophy fishery where there might have been just a handful of fish in this creek, you know.
Yeah, the overall is big benefit, and people, especially the government, want to focus on very small detriments to the fish where there wouldn't be fish.
From everything I've read, as far as the other game, there wasn't much game in here, according to the Indians. In a lot of this country, there wasn't much game before the cattlemen and the sheepmen come in and wiped out a lot of predators. And then that's when the deer herds in the 60s, 70s were big numbers, clear up in the 80s and 90s and stuff. And then they started with that good old government management. They've done a lot, and not just the government, just society in general. Have done a lot they killed the fur market, and that got rid of, you know, a lot of the motivation for trapping. They've regulated the hell out of it, and that's made it tough for guys to trap. There's no more bounties or anything like that. and then just the way they manage their deer population and everything else, they sell so many damn tags sometimes that they're gone.
Yep. I remember as a kid hunting in this area, there was a decent number of deer, not a lot, but a decent number of deer. And there were some really nice deer if you were willing to get away from the roads and work for them. And I haven't had any interest in hunting for about 10 years now. But from what I've heard, they upped the numbers of the tags a lot on this area. And now there's not hardly any deer at all because they've been overhunted.
The deer that are around are down on the alfalfa pivots on the private ground, and that's the only reason that there is any deer left, is because of the private agriculture interests that provide a big food base for them. And we get nothing out of doing that, but we're still happy to do it.
And really, it's a detriment because those deer do eat a measurable amount of feed that we could put right into our cattle if we were to keep them off of there via fences or other means.
Especially sheep, man. There'll be more deer on a cattle outfit than a sheep outfit because the sheep are in a little more direct competition with the deer than and the elk and everything else. The cattle eat more grasses, and the elk and the deer and antelope, they browse a lot more and they like the finer stuff. Cattle have to pull grass with their tongue, and deer and elk and sheep have got top and bottom teeth, and they eat with their teeth, where cattle they don't have teeth on the top.
In the front of their mouth.
In the front, and so they have to pull it with their tongue. And so sheep and deer and elk and all that, because of that, they can select more, and they browse a lot more, eating a lot more blocks and forbs. And the cattle eat more grass, and they can, if you leave them long enough, graze pretty short, but they don't, or they can keep it short, but they can't graze as short as a horse or sheep or an elk or deer. And so they don't compete directly as much on the same feed. And so you can have a lot of cattle, still have a lot of elk and a lot of deer and bighorns and all that kind of stuff. And they don't get up into some of the same areas. It's a lot easier for an elk or a deer to get up on top of that ridge and stay up there and get in some of the real rocky spots than it is for a cow. Cattle can do that, but they don't do that when they've got their young, like a deer or an elk would.
If you got any people in your family that are big hunters or wildlife conservationists that just do nothing but hate the cattle rancher, why don't you let them listen to this and see if it'll maybe plant a seed of thought in them. Well, we went and looked over off the other side and didn't see nothing. So we're just taking these and gonna bump them around the lake and back past camp and grab a rush when we go by camp and down the hill towards Cove Meadow. And that'll probably be about the majority of the day. Okay, so we've seen some up here. We're just gonna keep bumping them down to Pat down there. Hey, go on now. We're kind of gonna stay high around here. Let Pat go low. Hey! Nice morning on the lake here. Need to come back up here and do some fishing sometime. Trail's running kind of low here, Luke. Maybe we can rim around a little bit. I see a cow trail. This is another camp spot that my dad and I used to camp at. I can still see the rig parked right here and the bedrolls on the blue tarp over there. We had a table set up by the fire pit here that was in the open. I don't remember that fire pit back there on the grass. We were up here fishing one year and a real nice buck walked out right over there and kind of looked at us and then walked right up over this little saddle there. A lot of good memories right here. Anyways, we're still just looking for cattle here. Pat's still down on the lake there, bumping them cows around. He's going real slow to make sure not get ahead of us in case we do kick something down to him. But so Pat's down below me there somewhere. There's this drift fence here. I don't see a way through it, so I'm gonna use Ollie to bump these cows down. Skeet them. Skeet him. Skeet him. Skeeter. Skeeter. Well, skeet him. Ollie found him before I could. Huh. Skeet him. Huh. Huh. Left. Left. Can't really see what's going on. I don't trust Ollie's making it. Well, skeet him. Ollie's making it kind of hard for him to want to stay here. I see a trail right here. Huh! Go on, girls. So the cows have a way around it. Oh, okay, I could see right here. Go get him. Skeet him. Go right. Ollie. Ollie. Hey. Right. Go right. Ollie. Go right. Go on. Ollie. Right. Skeet him. Skeet him. Right. Go right. Ollie. Come here. Go right. Skeeter. 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 Pat must have heard the commotion. There's another little bunch out ahead of them. So, all right, well, we're gonna go back to climbing up, and I'm gonna go around this instead of up through it. I don't really need to now, but I'm gonna go back around that way and keep rimming around, so to speak. So, another little bunch of cattle here. We'll see if they start just from seeing me or what they do. Hey, girls. See which way they're gonna go here. Huh. Left. Hey, girls. Hup, 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 hup. 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 Perfect. Seem like they might travel pretty good. Those cows dropped down into here. This is that meadow where Pat was riding just a few minutes ago when Ollie started those cows and Pat took them from us. I'm just gonna make sure they're not gonna do this. Hi, sister. Well, they tried to go the wrong way down here, so I'm gonna have to get ahead of them here. Fortunately, Luke likes outrunning cows. Hey, girls, behave yourselves now. Hey. Hi. 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 On the road, girls. Or are you going that way? There's a gate up there. Alright, well, we'll take them through a gate and we'll just keep moving on them. Pat's up there on that ridge. It looks like he's seen something probably up where I should have been had I not found these girls. I'm on the other side of a fence now, so I'm gonna have to go around this little rock outcropping, I think. I don't know the fences here that well. But that's where we're at. If there was country uncovered over here, I can circle around after I get these with the main bunch, or maybe that's where Pat's going now, or we'll figure it out when we meet up. But I'm gonna get these girls to where they need to be right now. So that red cow acts kind of like she might have left a calf back there. If I get a chance, I'm gonna cut her back. So she split out of there like she didn't have a calf, but don't mean she doesn't. Oh, girls, you stay over there, girls. Hey. She definitely got a calf. Hey, go get your calf. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna bump her back that way quite a ways to where she detaches from this group of cattle, just like we were talking the other day in roe deer. I'm gonna do the same thing here, but I'm gonna make sure she's far enough to where she thinks, oh, I'm gonna go look where I came from for my calf. Because she still wanted to come to this bunch of cows she was with. And then I will let Pat and Blake know about this, and that way Blake can come make sure and look for her next week when he's re-riding. So it's really not a big deal. It's better this than to leppy the calf and lose the calf. Okay, if she goes up over that way, which it looks like she's going to, we'll let her go and she can go find her calf and continue raising it. Yep, just right. Okay, back up their other cows, and looks like well, I'm not sure if that's Pat or Blake, but somebody's up there ahead of me, so I'll make sure these cattle turn where they need to up here. That red cow we left back, she might even go get her calf and then follow out behind us. Sometimes they do that. I kind of respect the cow that lets me know that she's not got her calf. That's why she was coming back up that canyon, and I kind of thought so, but I wanted to double check. So once she told me a few times, you know, hey, I really don't have my calf here, then it became pretty obvious, so we got her back. Go on, girls. You chose this path now. Go ahead and walk it. Go on, you girls watched her do it. Hey, hey, hey. Shh, shh, shh. We'll just let them think right here and they'll find a way across it. She did. Hey. Shh, shh, shh. Go on. You girls wanted to come this way. Now deal with it. Hey. That's not a good solution up here, sister. Go back where you were. Your calves are across the deal there. Hey. Hey. Shh. That'll work. Ha. Get ahead. Skeeter. 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 That's why we eat them, folks. Go chase her sorry sack. I'm gonna go a different way though. Come on, Luke. Don't jump it, just go down into it. I don't know why you didn't just lead the rest of the bunch across this way to begin with. You want to get a drink, Luke? You act like you want one. That's why we eat them, folks. goodness. All right, and there's Pat too. We're all here. It's a party.
Getting tired waiting for you guys.
Ha!
God, I don't want to get old. Ass all the time.
Yeah. All right, so we're back here. We just got these cows pushed by camp. We're grabbing Rush, and Blake's grabbing one of his horses. They're gonna follow us down the hill because I have to go home tonight, and Blake's gonna give that mare there a couple months off, some R&R. So we'll get out of camp here a ways and away from the fences and probably just turn Rush loose. I imagine he'll follow us down the mountain just like he followed us up the mountain. All right, we're trailing horses out. Rush is loose and following along. Doing good. Skeet him. Good boy. Pat's gonna go high on that side, and I'm gonna go high on this side, and or low. I guess it'll end up being down here after a while, but Blake will keep bumping them along. We got this little bunch started towards the road. He'll drift up the road, and Blake will come along the road with the main bunch of cattle and pick them up. And we're gonna keep riding this side here. I think we're gonna have to curve back around and end up below him, but I'm betting that there's some below this spring, or maybe right on the other side of this little ridge right in front of us. So that's what I'm staying up here for. Rush and Ollie are following along, doing good. Okay, I got cattle right here. They're probably gonna go once they realize I'm here, and then I got cattle down there. I want to get all of them bumped up towards the road. So. Hey girls. Got some antelope moving over there. See which way these girls want to go. They kind of want to go that way, so we'll let them go that way. Those cows down at the bottom are probably going to come up and go up that trail. Come on, girls! I'm gonna get these pushed up here, make it a little easier on Blake. Being just out here for the week, I try and take as much work off the full-time guys as I can, because I'm gonna get to go home and give my horses a break, and they're gonna have to keep working their horses. So, you know, if I can take a little trip down this off of Blake's horses, you know, even once a day, if I take a little bit off of their horses, it'll help him. So kind of my mentality on being day help. Maybe not a lot of guys see it that way, maybe a lot of guys do, I don't know. But anyways, we'll get him shoved all the way up here for him. And I have some cattle down on the bottom there, but I'm not It was the cattle I was talking about heading up that trail. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask him what he would do because he knows the country. So, okay, Blake's right here, so we're gonna go quiz him in a minute. Hey, I got cattle on that little meadow down in the bottom there.
Okay.
Do I bring them up to the road or do they trail all the way down the canyon?
I'm not sure. There's probably
There's a trail up it, but I don't know how good they'll go up it.
they should go up.
Okay, well I'm gonna go that way, and if you don't see me, I'll meet you guys at Cove.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright.
Alright. Vaya con Dios, amigo. Okay, we're just about down to these cattle. There's a trail I've seen. I'm gonna try and see if I can get them up that. Maybe they'll go pretty good, maybe they won't, maybe they're gonna run down. I don't know. Usually when you see trails cut that good onto something like that right down to water, it usually kind of tells me there's horses, wild horses. Well, feral horses. There aren't no real wild horses anymore. Never was. But I haven't seen any horses on this allotment in the couple days I've been here. There's some way over on the other side of the mountain, wild burros, but that's all we've seen. And they're always been in the same area for 20-something years that I've known this place. But anyways, we'll see what these cattle do. I'll let you guys know. Looking like they're wanting to go up towards that trail, so I'm gonna let them and just kind of bump them easy. I try not to force anything, that way they think they're getting away from me. They travel a lot better when they think they're getting away. So pretty good considering 5 days ago you wouldn't put your foot in it. You'll drink out of it. Luke's getting him a drink. Just to make it a little easier to understand, the reason we stayed at camp last night is so we wouldn't have to ride up the mountain today and then do this circle. You can, but we don't get a horse trailer up to camp. It's too hard on them, it's not worth it. And that dictates that you leave some horses there and then just take a pickup up and maybe stay a night or two sometimes and use it that way. That cabin behind camp there is a private owner. I don't know what the story is past that, but we slept in a bedroll last night. Like I said before, my bedroll's plenty comfy, so it don't bother me. These cattle are trailing up this trail we talked about real good, and that makes me happy. So we're gonna stay behind them here. See you guys up there. Hey, we got the top of the little trail. You can see these cattle are still moving real good, and you can see the leads from the main bunch up there, so this is gonna work just right. Pretty nice when it does. So looks like we found another survey marker. This is the first one I've found this trip. All it says, Robert Cardwell, RLS 4233. So I see Pat's ahead of me there. So I'm gonna see if he needs me to take this canyon down or stay with cattle, or what he'd like me to do now. I've covered the area that he's asked me to make sure that we covered, so we got cattle trailing all over behind us. Everything's looking good. So okay, Pat wants us to check all this kind of country, and he told me about a trail to pop out on Said from way up high you could see 2 or 3 pairs kind of up on top of where that trail is gonna drop us out on. But he said go down and check this country because there's some spots in here you can't see from being above them. You got to be right in them. So that's pretty common in this part of the world. So this tall sagebrush like this in the bottom can have cows in it and you won't necessarily be able to see them from up top. So that's why I'm down here. So far nothing, just some chucker. Okay, I do see a couple cows just ahead of us here to the left of the quakey trees. So we're gonna give them a start and see which way they take us. We're supposed to come out over that way, but we'll go the way the cattle go. So alright, we got them unbrushed from there. They're here, we're just working them down. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of a fight the whole way, but we'll see what happens. Alright, found a spot, got ahead of these cattle. We might make it up where we're supposed to be. I don't know if they're going to beat us back down or not. Hey! Ollie left! Hey! Ollie, come here! Go left! 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 Skeet him! Skeet him! Left! They're climbing out. Okay, I need to get back across there. Skeet him! Ollie's getting pretty tired. He's definitely looking forward to days off. So. Hey! Hey! Yeah, these cattle must have hit something they didn't want to cross or something because they kind of balled up right here. I'm going to try and let them go back this way and then bend them up that hill. We'll see if it works. So. Hey! Bunch of heifers. Hey! Okay, I got these cattle shaped up a bit better here and figured out who belongs to who. We're gonna let those two back and we're gonna take the rest of them up. Left. So left. So we'll keep bumping this group up the hill. I had the camera stopped when I thought I had it recording, but I got those other cattle in here and let them kind of see what calves are here, and they wanted to leave and acted like they had a calf down there, and the numbers are right for this, so pretty easy. So there's our trail we want to head out of here on. So hopefully they'll find that and line out. There's more cattle in there, but I'll do what I can here. These girls crested this little hill here and took off. Hopefully they'll just hit a trot and them guys will come down the road. I don't know if the camera can see it, it's quite a ways off, but the road goes across like that. And there's two cowboys and a whole string of cows out in front of them. It's kind of a pretty sight. So either these cows will end up on the road and we'll squirt in and join them, or we'll come down in this canyon and meet them down at the bottom, something along those lines. I hope. I mean, you know, we could end up over there going that way. Weirder things have happened with cattle. So I got 5 cows and 6 calves, and I've been watching for any one of these calves to act like it wants to go back or bawl or anything. And all I've really noticed, yeah, you got your calf, he's right behind you. All I've really noticed, that bald-faced cow up there's had 2 calves following her most of the way. So I think she might have twins. I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep watching for them. We're not shutting the gates down below anyway, so if something's wrong, it'll figure it out tonight and it'll go back up. These calves are all plenty big enough to go back up. If I can see which one I want to cut out, I will. Perfect, there's the road and there's the other cowboys. So we'll join up with them here shortly. And that's why it helps to have a pulling horse around, guys. Hey, don't you kick her. You be a gentleman about this.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be cool because he's just fucking picking her.
Oh yeah. Attaboy, Rush.
He's not too happy about it.
Oh, must feel pretty good there. Blake's going around that side of the knob. We're going around this side. The trailer's right below us. I'm gonna put these 2 in the trailer when we get there. And they both worked pretty hard yesterday, so they can relax in the trailer once we get there. So. Alright guys, well, we're going to quit these cattle right here. They'll drift down to Cove Meadow or hang out in here a bit. So we're going to load these horses up in this trailer and go back up to camp and get our other pickup and our gear. And we will see you in a bit.